All right, let's talk about some of the biggest buzzwords in tech, right? AI, blockchain, the Internet of Things. I mean, you've heard them all. But here's a thought. What if they're not actually separate trends at all? What if they're all pieces of a much bigger puzzle, converging to create something, well, something fundamentally new? A whole new way our world is about to operate. That's what we're going to dig into today. The dawn of a real, honest-to-goodness machine economy.
And yeah, I know what you're thinking. The future of humanity and car rentals? It sounds kind of dramatic, right? But stick with me here. Because to really grasp the massive scale of the change that's coming, we have to start with a story of disruption that you'll definitely recognize. And it all kicks off with something super simple: renting a car. All right, so let's talk about a company that for 100 years thought they had it all figured out. Hertz. I mean, they were a giant. They knew their industry, they knew their competitors, they were cruising in their own well-defined lane. But here's the thing about technology. It doesn't really care about your lane.
I mean, look at this. It seems so simple, right? But the story it tells is absolutely brutal. Back in the early 2000s, Hertz was looking over its shoulder at companies like Avis and Enterprise, other car companies. It made sense. But then, fast forward just a decade. Suddenly, their number one threat isn't a company that owns cars, it's a company that owns an app, Uber. The whole game, the entire battlefield, just completely changed right from under them. And if you want to see just how fast this happened, well, the numbers tell the story. It's kind of nuts. In June 2014, Uber's valuation is just bigger than Hertz's. Okay, interesting. But then, just 6 months later, it's 5 times bigger. 5. And by the end of 2019, we're talking 24 times bigger. This wasn't just a slow, gradual decline for Hertz. No way. This was a lightning-fast takeover, all because of a completely different way of thinking about technology.
And here's the knockout punch. The result of all this? Hertz, the icon, the company that basically invented the industry, filed for bankruptcy. Meanwhile, Uber, the tech upstart that rewrote all the rules, is now worth a staggering $153 billion. It's really the perfect modern-day lesson. You can't get so focused on your industry that you forget what business you're really in.
So, okay, the story of Hertz and Uber is wild. But it's not just a one-off business drama. It's a sign of something much bigger happening all around us. Which brings us to the real question. Just how big is this change we're living through? Is this just another tech bubble, another cycle, or is it something else entirely?
To really get a handle on it, it helps to zoom out and look at history, right? You had the first industrial revolution, all about steam and water power. Then came the second, with electricity and the assembly line. The third gave us computers and automation. And a lot of people are saying that right now we're in the fourth industrial revolution, this crazy fusion of tech that's blurring the lines between our physical, digital, and even biological lives.
But what if even that label doesn't quite capture the scale of what's happening? What if this isn't just another industrial revolution? What if it's a revolution in intelligence itself?
And that brings us to this mind-bending idea called the singularity. Just look at this graph. That green line? That's us, human intelligence. It's a slow, steady climb. But that red line? That's machine intelligence. See how it starts off slow, kind of flat, and then, whoosh, it goes completely vertical, an explosion of growth. The singularity is that theoretical point in time where the red line crosses the green one, where machine intelligence doesn't just equal ours, it blasts right past it, setting off this chain reaction of self-improvement that's, well, it's beyond what we can even imagine. The impact on our economy? Nothing short of total transformation.
So whether you want to call it a new revolution or the coming singularity, there are two huge, massive trends that are really pushing this forward. The first is decentralization. Think of it as upgrading the internet from just an internet of information to an internet of value. And the second, of course, is machine intelligence. This is what's going to allow machines to think, to act, and even to do business with each other.
Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts. What are the actual building blocks that are making this whole thing a reality? How does it all really work?
So everything, and I mean everything, starts with the Internet of Things, or IoT. You can think of this as the foundation. It's this giant, growing network of physical stuff, your smart thermostat, your car, equipment on a factory floor, all packed with sensors and hooked up to the internet. They're basically the eyes and ears of this new digital world, constantly sensing and collecting data about what's happening in the real world.
But here's the catch with regular IoT. It usually relies on one central company, which can be a huge security risk. And that's where this next piece, depends, comes in. You can think of depends as like IoT version 2.0. They use blockchain and crypto tokens to build these networks in a decentralized way. So what does that mean? It means they're way more secure and way more open. It lets us, as a community, build out huge networks of real-world hardware, like, say, a citywide Wi-Fi network, without needing a big corporation to run it. And the cool part is, anyone who helps build it gets rewarded for it.
Okay, now for the brain of the operation, the intelligence layer. And wow, just look at this chart. That dotted line across the middle, that's us. That's 100% human-level performance. And yeah, for simple stuff like recognizing images, AI passed us a while ago. But look what's happening now. For really complex things, understanding language, reasoning, the lines are just shooting straight up, leaving us in the dust. AI isn't just a fancy calculator anymore. It's becoming a better performer than we are at more and more things.
And you know what? Just like we saw with IoT, this incredible intelligence is also going decentralized. Right now, building powerful AI is super expensive, and it's pretty much controlled by a handful of giant tech companies. Well, decentralized AI, or DAI, is designed to change that. It flips the script, allowing people to work together to train AI models across a network. This keeps your data private, means the whole system can't just crash if one server goes down, and best of all, it opens the door for anyone, anywhere to build the next big thing.
And this is where it all clicks together. Think of it like a perfect partnership. On its own, AI can be kind of spooky, right? It's a black box. You don't always know how it's making decisions. And on its own, blockchain is super secure, but maybe a little basic. But when you put them together, oh man, blockchain gives AI that trust and transparency it's missing. And AI gives the blockchain the powerful brain it needs to do amazing things. They literally solve each other's biggest weaknesses.
Okay, so we've got the network of sensors, we've got the intelligence, and we've got the trust layer to make it all work. So, now for the big reveal. What happens when you snap all these pieces together? You get what we can call the tech stack of the future. And the way to think about it is actually really simple and human. The first layer, IoT, gives a machine its senses, its eyes and ears. The second layer, AI, gives that machine a brain to think and make decisions. And that third layer, the blockchain, that gives the machine a wallet and a rulebook, a secure way to actually do business in the world. And the result is a world where machines can actually do business with each other. I mean, think about it. Your self-driving car could use its sensors to find an open charging station. Then its AI could negotiate the best price for electricity in real time. And finally, it could use its blockchain wallet to pay for the charge, all on its own. No apps, no credit cards, no human involved whatsoever. That is a machine-to-machine economy.
And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. All the pieces we've just talked about, they're being built as we speak. This is really happening. And that means we need to hit the pause button for a second and ask some really, really important questions about the kind of world we're actually building here.
Like, for starters, if a machine can earn and spend money, who's in charge of it? How do you even begin to write the rules for an economy when some of the players aren't even people?
And maybe even more importantly, how do we make sure these incredibly powerful systems stay on our side? How do we build them so we can see what they're doing, hold them accountable, and ensure they're aligned with our values, and not some weird random goal they come up with on their own? And that leads to what might be the biggest question of them all. If data is the new oil and AI is the new electricity, who owns it? Who controls the fire hose of data that these systems will create? And who gets to control the intelligence we build with it? Because at the end of the day, that's not a technical question. It's a question of power.
Which brings us to the final and most important takeaway. This future, it isn't set in stone. It's not inevitable. It's not something that's just going to happen to us. It's something that we are designing right now with every line of code we write and every choice we make. So the time to think about this stuff, to debate it, and to design it the right way is not tomorrow. It's now.